Alright guys, this is part 2. Pro tips for BKs, becoming competitive. And just want to take the time to help you guys figure this out. When you're trying to build your deck, or even if you're trying to use the latest deck that won or whatnot, try to evaluate the current meta. You know, what was good, a month ago, 2 months ago, may not be so good now. X-Sabers are a pretty good example of this. The deck is still highly competitive, but they don't command the power they once had because of the rise in popularity of cards like Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler wrecks the deck's best plays really hard, and it becomes more or less of a waiting game. The X-Saber player has to be extremely patient and to bait out Veilers and then make their big pushes. And so like I said, you have to evaluate the current meta. And again, remember that the decks you're using, you need to try to find floaters. These are a lot of the floaters in our meta right now. We have Recruiter, Stratos, Mr. Tomato, Dekoichi, Card Trooper, Sangin, and the MVP floater of all time, Reborn Tengu. When you're building your deck, right now, these are pretty hot, with the exception maybe of the Koichi, but you never know. Someone may innovate something to utilize that. So, that's something to check out. Also, when you're building your deck and you're getting started, and let's say you want to build some kind of dark deck, and you got your Mr. Tomato, your Dekoichis or whatnot, and you're just getting overwhelmed, you can't keep up, don't be afraid to put that deck down for a while. I've started many projects and had to cancel it, and people are like, well, what happened to what's the name deck? For example, people are wondering about Yusei Fudo. It's just, there's a time for decks and sometimes there's not. If the deck cannot keep up or cannot produce consistent results, that's a sign that that it's not that deck's time, or that deck's time is past. And sometimes it hurts because you put the time and effort and maybe money into it, and now it feels waste. But that's just how it is. And sometimes people are just stubborn and they want to keep pushing through it and say, well, I'm going to make it work. Well, if you go to a regional or even locals, have fun going, OX, 0 wins, 5 losses, or X2 drop. So, if you insist on trying to make your deck work, be prepared to take some hard losses. Next thing I want to tell you about is recognize what's going on in the OCG. That's a really good resource to help you figure out what decks are on the horizon, what we have to look forward to. It's also a good resource to get ideas from. It's not always best to net the OCG because they play Yu-Gi-Oh! A little different than we do. They don't run Solemn Warning in decks that I feel they should. They don't run Pot of Duality in decks that I feel they should. And they have a lot of weird card choices. They don't have to deal with the TCG exclusives such as Tengu or Recruiter. So Grave Keepers are non-issue. And without Tengu over there, it's kind of a non-issue. So they can build things and have great success with decks like Black Wings and Dark World, because they don't have to worry about those really broken floaters. Alright, so that was evaluating the meta and helping you to come to grips with what things you have to deal with, things you need to keep in the back of your mind. Stay tuned for the next episode.